Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. TGINF. Hope y'all are having a good one. I'm having a pretty good one so far, but it's still early. Let's see who we got hanging out with us. Lonnie's here this morning. Good morning. Good morning, Thomas. Paul's here. Good morning. 36. Holy cow. You guys in Michigan don't mess around. When you turn on fall, you turn it on, don't you? David Davis is here. 54, he says, in Virginia. That's more like it. It was 57, I think, was the low we got to. Mr. Galt's here. Good morning. Monroe, good morning. Sean, how you doing? Leo says, good morning, Dave and Jack. TGIF this weekend, I'll be working on tractors and floppy ducks for the toy giveaway. Awesome. And Jack says hi, by the way. He's down here. He's busy licking on something now. Don's here. Good morning, Don. Happy Friday to you. Darren's here. Good morning. Ray's here. Good morning, Ray. And Lou Thomas is here as well. Good morning, Lou. Let's see. Nice weather. I noticed something, it's kind of weird. I don't know if it may not be happening where you're at, but I just thought it was kind of weird because yesterday, we said it was the first day of fall at 9 p.m. was technically when fall kicked in. And it was funny because we did the coffee sessions here yesterday morning. And then, me and Jack went to go outside and do something. I walk out there, open up the garage door. And as soon as the garage door opened, I noticed, I'm like, man, it's just like clockwork here because there was a bunch of leaves. My garage, the way it's situated, and there's a big row of trees over there, but it's like every leaf that falls off those trees always ends up right at my garage door, ready to blow in when I open the door. But I thought, well, isn't that funny? It's like right on cue, the leaf, and you look out in my yard and stuff, there's scattered leaves out there. It's like, yeah, they just, it's time to start knocking these things off. And I just thought that was odd. I guess I'd never noticed that happening before, but it was like, yep, time to go. Let's see here. Clyde's here this morning. How you doing, Clyde? Only 44 down south of Michigan. Okay. Well, I tell you something else. I'm really happy today, and it don't take much to make me happy. Sometimes I'm a pretty simple guy, so it's all about the small things for me. But sometimes I kind of get onto myself because I think, Dave, you are such a dang hoarder. You won't throw anything away. I've got stuff sitting around out there in the shop and everywhere for that matter that I'm like, you get ready to throw it away and I'm like, no, I might use that for something. So you go stick it somewhere. You guys probably do the same thing. Hopefully not as bad as I do. But anyway, I've had this idea where I hate camera tripods. They're always in the way, because they're not stable unless you spread them out and get a wide stance. And of course, when I'm doing the live streams from out there in the shop, I try to get some decent camera views where people can see what the heck I'm doing, make it interesting. So I've had this idea that I need to add some things out there in my shop. And I've got a real high ceiling out there in the shop because when you come out of my house, you step down into the garage, but it's probably at least a 9 foot or more ceiling. But anyway, so I've been wanting to try and figure out how to mount some stuff, drop it down to where I can easily move cameras around. And when I say cameras, I'm talking mostly little light webcams. But in some cases, it might be the I never do my hands right. The big one back here, my DSLR camera. So I've been wanting to try to figure out something, mount some stuff where I can just like a trolley, kind of like where you can slide a camera around and then have the arms drop down and you can turn it every which, so you get uh, the perfect camera shot if there is such a thing. So anyway, I went around back, because I got a lot of stuff back there. I went around back and I found some. It's like some chrome plated tubing that was the handlebar. I say handlebars, but the bars that come up on that old treadmill that I took apart and used for my lathe project. And again, I'm like, well, I could throw these out, but I probably think something to use it for. So I set those around back there, and I went around back there the other day and did some measuring and stuff, and brought them back around here and got ready to cut them up. And then I thought, okay, well, before I cut this, let me just think on it a little bit. So I thought and thought, and then I had some, believe it or not, I had some pallet wood that I'd already broke the pallet down, and it was, the top part of the pallet, little boards about 3¼ inches wide by, I don't know, they were a little over ½ inch thick. And so I used those to draw up arms, for lack of a better word, they're going to attack. I already had two brackets where I'd found a stud or a rafter, whatever you call it, in the ceiling. So they're solid. So I made these little wooden arms that come down and drop it down so far. And then I want to mount a rail of some type to that for a camera to slide along. But anyway, yesterday, and I know this is a long story here, but yesterday I looked over in the corner and it was just like an aha moment, because I found something and I'm like, I'll bet you those things been leaned up over there in the corner of my garage for, I know, 10 years, maybe 12 years, maybe even longer. I don't know. But I brought a piece of one of them in here. Now, this is like the 3-foot piece. If I hold this up here, y'all could probably maybe guess what it is. But it's an aluminum extrusion, which means it's lightweight, pretty straight, and I think it's going to be perfect for what I want to do. But this, I have two pieces about this long. I don't know how long this one is. 3 feet, I think, or kind of close. It's all right, Jack. Let's see. Yeah, about 30, just under 35 inches. So I've got two pieces this length, and then I have two pieces that are probably, I don't know, 7 feet, 80 inches or something like that. But if you can figure out what they are, this is the aluminum extrusion for a storm door frame, like you'd have, on your front door or something. And when I saw that, I thought, man, I've been hanging on to that stuff forever. And that'd probably make a good rail. So, of course, it was all dusty and I still got a few cobwebs inside there. So I cleaned it up a little bit. And then I thought, well, now I need to bring it in here and try to draw this profile. Because what I'm trying to do, and this is just a little thin test piece to see if I can get the thing to fit. But this is my little test piece that just finished running a little while ago. But it will go on there like that. And of course, it'll be easier to slide when it's wider, because this is, like I said, this is just a thin piece I ran real quick. But I think this is going to be perfect to, this will end up being probably 2, maybe 3 inches thick this way. And then, of course, I can mount some holes, which I can then drop down some brackets and stuff like that. Yeah, screen. He says screen door frame. Actually, mine was a storm door. It just had a piece of glass in it. I call them storm doors. I don't know what the proper term is. But anyway, I have been playing around with good old Design Spark. So I came in here and I first made a sketch of this, just measured with my calipers, which I was so happy they worked when I turned them on. The battery was still good. So I drew this piece up first. And then actually the first piece I made, and here you can see I've since stretched this out. I think I've got it at 2 inches or something now. But this was the first piece I ran last night. And I don't know why. I made it a 1/2 inch, and I'm like, Dave, you idiot. You didn't need, it's just a test piece. So when I ran one this morning, and then when I pulled this one off, it wouldn't quite fit. I made it a little too snug. And like I said, a lot of times this filament, after it cools, it shrinks up. So I just got it a little too snug. So I went back this morning, opened it up a bit. I don't know how to hold this where you can see it. But now I think, because I've taken it on this piece and put it on one end and then slide it, and it'll come all the way off. So, and again, this is not going to be, super stout or anything, but it doesn't have to, because it's only going to hold up a webcam. So, or a bracket that's going to hold a webcam. So anyway, that's going to be old Dave's project today, is try to get that. And then the whole purpose of this is to try to get where I can buy some more webcams, get them mounted up there, and then just leave them and not have to keep moving stuff. Because I had this one tripod, that security camera sitting on. I use that when I am watching my printers from wherever I might be when I got a print running. But it's also the same tripod I have to come in here and swipe to put out there in the garage when I'm doing the Saturday night thing. So hopefully that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Yes. Rob Schuster's here. Good morning. George says, going crazy figuring out why my Ender 3 quit laying down PLA. I don't know. Could be a bunch of things. Yeah, Lou says, my wife calls me a pack rat. In my own mind, I'm a collector. Yeah, that's what I like to. I don't know. I guess it's just the way I grew up, because my dad was kind of the same way. We always had stuff in the garage, and he even had a shed around behind the garage. And there was always stuff in there. And it's like, why don't you just throw that out? Oh, no, I'm going to use that one day. But I always get real excited when I saw that leaned up in the corner over there. I thought, man, that just might even be better than that other stuff I was going to use. But I still won't throw that other stuff away. I'll just carry it back where I got it, and it'll sit back there another year or two until I figure out something to use for it. But I think this stuff is going to be perfect. Perfect. You know, a lot of times you'll see people that get real fancy and they'll buy like the 80/20 extruded aluminum stuff and make these kind of things. And that 80/20 stuff, you know, the way it has all the little grooves in it and the fasteners and stuff, it does make it really convenient to make little enclosures or things like that. But I just like using up stuff I've already got. And I think that's going to work really good, I think. Clyde says, add a couple of V wheels to it. Clyde, I did think about that because Lord knows I have a ton of these, if I can get one of them out here, these little small V wheels. And I thought about, well, that'll set on there perfect to ride on that little, I don't know what you call it, but it's got one on each side there. But then I thought, you know what? There's no need to get even that fancy. If I'm going to 3D print something, just 3D print something that will slide along there. And so I kind of, and I thought about using these. I thought about using the other bigger bearings because I got several of those out there. And then I thought, nah, let's just keep it simple, stupid. That's my theory of engineering, the old KISS theory. So I just decided to 3D print something like that. And I can print several of those blocks or guides or whatever you're going to call them. I'm calling it a camera mount guide. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just hang those things everywhere where there won't be anything I do out there that I can't get a good shot at it. Yeah, Rob knows what I'm talking about. It's I gotta tell you, I have really, every time I shoot a video, I hate it more and more. Every stinking time. Live streams I like doing. I like the interaction with people that are watching, answering questions. And it's basically, it is what it is. If you mess up, you mess up, and we'll all have a good laugh and you go on. So the live streams I like, but shooting a regular video, I hate it. I hate it. It's just so much fiddle farting around trying to get, and y'all seen my note on my camera back there, my DSLR camera. I have that thing where when you flip the little viewer out, it says turn the damn mic on, because I don't know how many times I've recorded something and might have stood there and talked for 5 minutes and then realized that you didn't even turn the mic on. So that was all for nothing. And I just got where I hate shooting it. But most of this, what I'm doing is mostly for live streams. I just want to make it easy where I can, because StreamYard is they keep adding features. They have a thing where you can add a spare camera now. And I'm not sure how many, I think you can only do 2 cameras, and I think that includes your main camera. So I think you got a total of 2, but it might be more. I need to test that. But another way you can do it, and this is something else I'm going to do, is you can have a second computer, like for example, a laptop, and have it sign into StreamYard. And also, so then you'd have 2 more cameras with that one. You would just turn the main webcam off and mute the audio so that there's no, squealing feedback and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. I want to try to get where I can just click and there's a whole nother camera view, but not have to spend all this time fiddling around with tripods and all that stuff. Although tripods are cheap, but like I said, the main thing I don't like is they're in the way, and then you got wires running on the floor. And I have found that I don't know if there's a limit. Maybe somebody out there might know more about this stuff than me and can tell me. But I don't know if there's a limit on the length of a USB cable to a camera or not. But, usually when you buy a decent, say like a Logitech or a knockoff Logitech USB webcam, it usually has a 4 to 5, maybe 6 foot cable with a USB connector on the other end. And then what I do is I buy these, I believe they're 10 foot, but it's a USB on one end, and then on the other end, you plug the USB for your camera. It's like the female on the other end. So altogether, I've probably got, 12 to 15 feet worth of cable. And that's what I'm using now. But I don't know. I guess if I look and see that they sell cables longer than 10 feet, they wouldn't sell them probably if they didn't work. So, yeah. So I'm gonna try to. That's my project for the next few days. Lou says we straightened nails when I was a kid. Everything got used at least twice. Yeah, I guarantee you, if you go look around in probably my shop around back and in the garage, you will no doubt find a can, tin can, maybe a glass jar of rusty nails that I have pulled out of stuff and just never. I mean, what do you do with them? I always save them, and a lot of times, like you said, screws. When I take something apart, I save all the screws. They're a little rusty. As long as they still come out with a gun and the head's not starting to get rounded off, I save them. So we'll, yeah, I'm pretty bad when it comes to hoarding stuff like that. David says, today I'm heading to Carolina in the fall concert, North Wilkesboro. Nothing like listening to a great banjo player like Jens Kruger. I don't know who that is. I'm not familiar with him, but when I think of banjo players, I usually think of, Steve Martin for one, the comic. He was pretty good at picking a banjo. And what's the other guy's name? Roy Clark. I think he was pretty good at, and of course that, what's the one that did the Beverly Hillbillies? Was it Earl Shrugs and Lester Flatt or something like that? I don't remember the names, but yeah, that's probably the best known banjo other than Deliverance. Probably one of the most well-known banjo tunes ever is the Beverly Hillbillies and Deliverance, I guess. Oh well, that's about all I got. I didn't even turn that little ender. By the way, I didn't say it, I don't guess, but I ran this on my little ender, that one right back there. No adjustment, no nothing, just loaded the thing, turned it on, hit the button, and sat back and waited. Those things are just amazing. They just keep on keeping on. But anyway, I'll going to get this run. I'll probably, once I get this, because I got to go back and add some holes and make it thicker and do some other things to it. And what I'm probably going to do is fire one up on that little ender right there, and then try to put one right here on this one as well. And we'll see. Yeah, Lester Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. I said Shrugs or something, I think, didn't I? Landis says, have you decided on if you were going to the wood show in Hickory yet? It's not a definite no, but it's not. I probably will not go for a couple of reasons. One, I got something in the works that is going to take priority over that. And the second thing is, even if I didn't have anything to do, it's always an issue of getting Jack. You know, that's one bad thing about having a dog is when you get ready to go someplace, like, well, you got to do something with your dog. Well, I don't, I'm by myself. It's just me. Well, just me and Jack. And, I don't have any friends that want to watch him while I'm gone. So it's, it's always a matter of having to line up, getting boarded somewhere. You got to plan way ahead because if you don't, they're full. And it's, then you got that added cost as well as what it's going to cost you to go on your trip and stuff. But, yeah, I don't think I'll probably go. I'd love to go just because you get to see folks that you haven't seen, especially since there hadn't been a wood show, a real live wood show in a long time. But I don't need anything. Or I should say I don't want anything. That's never really stopped me from buying stuff at a wood show. I've come home with a lot of things I didn't need, but I get there and, the demonstrator does a good job showing me all the shiny stuff. And next thing I know, there's one in the back of my truck coming home with me. But yeah, probably I'd love to get up there and see you, Landis, if you're going, but I probably will not go. And in time, you will see why I didn't go because you'll see what I had in the works. Rob Schuster said I should be dropping a new video or videos today or tomorrow. It was so long that I split it into two. Need to redo some voiceover and it will be done. All right. I think I've just about decided after doing this last video on this thing, and I will do another one, in a month or two to do more of a review to say whether I like it or I don't like it or if it's holding up well and doing good or whatever. But other than that video, I've almost decided I'm not going to do any more videos. It'll be live streams. And that's probably it. I just enjoy doing those so much more than doing the video. And it's not like there's not a lot of setup and prep work because there is for that too. But a lot of times you can do it once and then just leave it set up. Like the stuff I have in my garage, most of the stuff I have a little roll around stand that's got my computer, the two monitors I use, the main webcam, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff. It stays out there. So it's not like I have to move a bunch of stuff around. Other than that spare camera that I'm talking about. Oh, let's see. Wade says, like the review video that you did on the 3D print. I wouldn't really call it a review. It was more of a unboxing, assembly, and here's the features that it has. I didn't really, want to call it a review video because, like I said, until you use something a while, you can't really say whether it's any good or not. David says the maximum length for USB cables should be 16 to 20 feet. Okay. I'm going to get on Amazon because I want to buy a couple more webcams. And when I go to get those, I'll look for those extensions and just see how long they make them. Okay, Don says, I use a 25-foot USB extender for my telescope gear. Seem to work fine. Okay. I would think I wouldn't need anything longer than 25 feet because, like I said, the webcam comes with usually at least 4 foot of cable on it. So let's see. Thomas says, is it possible to find excuse me, is it possible to find an active USB cable that has a repeater? They can have timing issues. I don't know nothing. All right, let's see here. Wade says USB can do about 30 feet, so you can daisy chain two 15s. Okay, and I have had both of them because I have two cables that are, two extension cables, and I have put them together before, and it worked okay. But I'd rather just look and see if I can find one longer cable so I don't have to worry about it popping apart at different places. I will look for that and see what I can come up with. USB 2.0 is not the same as 3.0 length. Yeah, I always try to get the latest, greatest thing. So anyway, I think that was my timer. I'm going to get busy and play with my Design Spark and see what I can come up. Man, y'all slacking on thumbs up over there. Go over and hit it or hit the thumbs down one. Got to try to guilt you into hitting up. I just went up one. There we go. Try to get you hit it on the way out. All right. Well, everybody have a great Friday. Get out there in your shop and do something. If you're not doing nothing, come hang out with us tomorrow night for the Hobby CNC with Dave show. I got no clue what I'm doing. It might be I might move my diode laser over there and set it on the CNC table, and I might be running something with that. I don't know what I'm doing. I do have some, I think one thing I'm going to do is I'll be showing whatever photos I've got recently. So if anybody else has got photos of something cool they've made, be sure and send it to me. I know I've got some inlay photos that Marcelo has sent. I think, let's see, John Thompson, I think, sent something. I've had a few things come in that I haven't showed yet. So I'll probably be doing a little show and tell, and who knows what, maybe firing some laser beams. I don't know. But anyway, just come find out. You'll find out when you get there. All right. Well, everybody have a good Friday. Have a great weekend, and welcome to fall. See y'all.